Hello, welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Frazier.
And today, we're going to be doing a supplement special. We're talking as if we didn't already just have an episode with the wonderful people from Knave of Cups, but that's because we're probably going to split this into two VODs. I'll move you. You're good, buddy. And go from there. So, while I move our videos around, Hunter, why don't you talk to them about what a supplement special is?
We are going to just like bang out. We're gonna go over our favorite just additions to games, right? Whether it be fun like little character classes or role tables or add-ons that make playing games easier or more fun or bring more life to your game. We're gonna spend like a few minutes on each of them, and we'll just kind of scroll through, give our overarching thoughts, and I'm sure that we'll run off on several tangents. There won't be any ratings today, and there's not one centralized like theme to it. I mean, I think we're pretty well spread out across a lot of games right now.
Pretty far, yeah. Yeah, that was a great intro on what the plan is today. So what I probably have to adjust more windows as I did not do this before we started. So why don't you kick us off so I can adjust the windows while we talk about it? What do you want to start with? Oh, you know what? Spotlight, right? We're gonna spotlight one or two things.
Some spotlight stuff today, right?
Hey, yeah.
Ryan, why don't you take charge on spotlight?
Yeah. So what we decided to do, we said this before, we're getting ready to kickstart the podcast because it took us like 45 minutes. We're just going to talk about one, maybe two things each week real quick just to say, hey, this is fucking cool. You should check it out. The first thing that I want to spotlight today is a really fucking cool project called Blank Black Screen because I do not have it up.
We're so under prepped. It's hilarious. That's
hey,
okay.
Listen, I've been on one at work lately.
Oh, me too, buddy. No worries.
Oh, look, it says that I backed this for $100 because I didn't bring up the regular window I do, which is a Chrome window that I'm not logged into. So, hey, guess what? I backed your project, homies.
Whoops.
It's one of them days. So you'll find out about the next one I backed too in just a second when I flip to that window. The first one I want to talk about is called Outcast Silver Raiders. This is just a fucking badass looking tabletop RPG. It's OSR RPG, which I'm curious if it was Outcast Silver Raiders first or if they tried to fit it into the words OSR.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah. It's like OSR RPG.
Yeah. Either way, I like it. I dig it. A blood-drenched occult medieval tabletop RPG. You got me already. I would have backed it there. It's 3 separate books with an OSR compatible campaign setting. First of all, look at the art on the video. I'm not going to play the video.
Yeah.
Fun in 5 hours, featured on Dicebreaker. Looks amazing. Black, red, and white is my vibe. If I ever put a game out, that's exactly what it is. It's got like a Kingdoms vibe, kind of.
Yeah,
but like
it's very like these color schemes, like where it's like less is more, work really well. And this thing, and especially something like this, it's obviously trying to give us like gritty, bleak, dark.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, fucking feels like you really only need 3 colors, you know?
Yeah, it's got almost like brutalist like graphic design feel to it, which I really enjoy. I mean, look at some of the other art right here. It's absolutely stunning.
God, it's pretty cool.
It's so fucking cool. So I already said it's a blood-drenched medieval RPG in the OSR tradition. I love 3 books. And not only that, if you look at the images of the 3 books here, it's still black, red, and white. It's kind of like off-white, kind of bone white color. There's a player's guide, a referee's compendium, and a campaign setting. And the art, if you lay them all out left to right, gives you an image across all 3, which is just another such a cool fucking piece to it.
Damn, honestly, that's enough for me to get it too.
Yeah, it looks so fucking cool. Occult medieval hex crawl. It looks so fucking cool. They do have an early preview PDF, which you love to see. They got character sheets you can download. I love when Kickstarter pages give you quick start guides or something you can look at right away, so you can be like, oh, actually, I do like this. This is cool. Yeah. But it's just gorgeous. Scrolling through the page again, there's a more close-up version of the player's guide. Some more just absolutely stunning art on it. And the campaign book is pretty beefy. At some point on this page, it talks about like how many total pages it is. The campaign book by itself is 320 pages, plus the player's guide and the other one. So you're going to have plenty of stuff to do. The game itself looks really cool. You can play it without all the campaign guide stuff, but with it, it looks badass. So long story short, this looks super fucking cool. There's a digital tier for $39. There's a book tier for $85. And then there is a limited deluxe tier that is currently sold out. That was $285, which I did not get because I didn't want to spend $300. But I did go ahead and get the physical tier, and I must have got some add-on because I spent $100 and this is only $85.
It's shipping.
Oh, shipping, that's what it is. But stretch goals are already getting knocked out. Ribbon bookmark, you know we love us some fucking ribbon bookmarks.
We love a ribbon bookmark. Give me 2, baby. You know, don't hold back.
3 even.
3. Oh, 3 ribbon boy. That's luxury.
The second stretch goal, gilded page edges. Come on.
Oh.
Come on. Yeah.
Listen, bro, straight up, I'm a slut for gilded page edges, you know?
Yo, anything that makes the book better. I mean, those are the stretch goals I go for. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't mind Kickstarters that are like, we'll do all this extra bonus content. Every time I see that, I'm like, that's cool. But that means I'm going to get in 2 years because someone's going to get sick and someone's art's not going to get done, whatever. But if all the stretch goals are just making the physical book better, that's already been prepped and they've already got quotes for it and everything like that. If all the stretch goals were literally just hardback, ribbon bookmark, UV spotting, gilded edges, those are what you should go for. And not only that, at 50K, because they're passed out already, fucking storage box, bro. It's a box now.
Yeah.
Yep. And at 60K, which is right around the corner, is a referee screen. At 65K is cardboard standees. I mean, I honestly think they're going to get that. At least the GM guide, which I'm super excited for, because like I said, they're already chilling at like 58K with 22 days left. It's going to get there. Super excited.
Let me tell you, if you're a creator and you're listening to this right now, cardboard standees are underutilized. Shout out fucking Kevin, you know? Kevin Rochman.
Yeah. Kevin Rochman. Hardcore. Okay, so for Raiders, it's awesome. Check that one out. The one other one I want to talk about real quick is called A Brazen Crown from Longtail Games. This is minions, spells, blood, and silver. It's a Merkborg card game. Technically, I think the second. I'm not going to get into that. But this, all of the art for this was done by a friend of the show, PR, Perplexing Ruins. Wonderful person, wonderful human being. And this is put out
great
from
artist.
Longtail.
Like, dude, every time I see a Perplexing Ruins, please. First off, I'm like, oh, I know exactly who did that because he has such a style to it. And I'm like, fuck, this is cool. Yeah,
it's good. Love that. And Longtail Games, we have talked about before with Tiny Library and fuck, what was the book one called? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Sorry, Longtail. Let's just go to the 6 created.
We're really good stuff, I swear.
Tiny Tome, and we talked about Sunderwald too. That was the legacy one that I bought 2 of because I'm not going to write the fucking book.
But yeah, I remember us talking about Sunderwald as well.
Yeah, Tiny Tome, Tiny Games, Sunderwald. So this is another one put out by them. It's fantastic. Not only that, it's in Australian money, which is not as, you know, it doesn't cost as much as American money.
It's not as real as American money. Is that what you're going to say?
Not as real. It's just we love Australians and Canadians because the American dollar is one of the few, you know, places we buy from that the American dollar is actually worth something in.
Sounds like you're talking
yeah, we love it. So it basically just offsets the cost of shipping from Australia. So Brazen Crown looks really, really fucking cool. It is a card. It's a Merkborg inspired, compatible with Merkborg card game for 2 to 4 players. Lightning fast battle card game with strong drafting options. It's been in development for years. It looks super cool. It reminds me of a TCG. I recently got into MetaZoo, if anyone knows what that is, and that's for my collector bug that is not good. You'd love it. I'll probably send you a lot of the extra cards and then make you get into it too. But it reminds me of that a little bit because it clearly has that vibe. If you look on the cards, there are abilities at the bottom. There are like costs and stuff across the top, different things. The objective is to assemble cards from different classes in a single deck, then use this deck to battle your rival, win, If your rival is reduced to 0 health, triggers the 7th misery, or is forced to draw from an empty deck. So it's a Merkborg themed battle card game with art from Perplexing Ruins. Like, it looks fucking cool as shit.
I'm gonna be honest, I hadn't backed it, and then as we're talking about it, and like especially that, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I will bat. I did.
Yeah. It looks good. and it's a great looking Kickstarter page too. There's a lot of art, there's a lot of videos on it, there's a great explanation of how the game is played. And there is a batch of stretch goals. They are quite a bit away from funding, which I'm gonna be very unstoked if this does not fund. They're a little bit under. They're about 4.5K towards an 18K goal, with 26 days left. So hopefully this can keep pushing, and we can get this to happen. I would love to see this. So if you're listening,
I would too.
Definitely check this game out. It looks really, really cool. And it's got plenty of time left, so maybe we'll bring this up again in the future. But those are our 2 spotlights for the day. Outcast Silver Raiders, which is way funded, and Brazen Crown, which definitely deserves more funding. Check those out. Now we're getting into the supplement special, what screen should I go to for that?
I don't know. Which one do you want to do first? I think is a big.
Which one do you want to do first? And then I'll find the window.
Let's do the by far dumbest and funnest one first.
We say that with love, with all the love.
Oh, dude, this is we're gonna go over something that it's been out for a really long time, and I have had forever, and I think it's amazing, and I'm a big fan of it because it's just so fucking ridiculous.
You're still a sick boy on my screen, so let me get rid of the sick boy.
I like this. Look, let's keep it.
Where is this? Is this sick boy? I'm not getting rid of it. There you are. Look at that beautiful face. That's what you get for being sick.
Yeah, it's very fair. I deserve
that. I know which one you're talking about. Oh, we have to go to a different window on this anyway, because this one actually doesn't come with a PDF.
Yeah, so that's the only downside. It doesn't come with it costs almost nothing. So
yeah. That's all you know, buddy.
So we're talking about Frasian, which is a Frasier and Neon Genesis Evangelion mashup supplement for Troika. Inside of it, there are, I'm not on the green screen, so this might be not as great for me, but oh yeah, I don't want to turn my background off too, because you guys see how messy my room is. But inside there are character classes that are mashups of the main characters in Frasier and Evangelion. So Frasier himself is Shinji Ikari, obviously. And great advanced skills such as pontificating, possessions like a radio microphone, and then Unit 1, which says damage as a super weapon. Yeah, and it's $6 on Spear, which I think it's out of stock right now.
It is, yeah. Hold up.
But like if they do another printing, like it is a very, very, it's very incredibly niche, right? Like you have to enjoy the fact of Frasier in any form whatsoever, and then know and enjoy Neon Genesis Evangelion. But like all of the characters are mashed into each other as Troika like classes. And so you could 100% play Frasier like actually as a game in Troika.
Yeah, it's not just a joke. It is a game.
No, like it works like very well. Like they definitely written like somebody who's like, yeah, it's for Troika. Like you can use this in the Troika game.
It's someone who clearly watched Frasier. Like
yeah, yes.
And what struck me about it the most was like how you're like, oh, Frasier is just kind of Evangelion without flesh robots.
Yeah, I really appreciate this, and it was something I got like a really long time ago as well, and I've been sitting on it, so
it's good.
Yeah, highly recommend if it comes back into print. I also think it was a partnership between between Exalted and Spear, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me kick over to the I can kick over to the Spear Witch page. It's right
Transition.
There. Boom. Yeah. So this is it. The back, it says Goodnight Seattle, and then there's a page on the inside. I wish it let me zoom in a little bit farther, but it's got Martin and and Roz as some of the characters you can see. It's so fucking good. I love it.
It's so good. It's
so
really
good and weird.
like it's so ridiculous
Yeah.
and it's so fucking niche. Like you really have to like. Yeah, I'm super the target audience for that. I liked Frasier growing up, and I think it's hilarious. So
super cool. And shout out Spear Witch. They I often have these incredibly niche, like small print run games that definitely often sell out. So speak to a very specific niche, which is fantastic. So Jared Sinclair is a badass. So that is the first one. That's our Troika supplement. I don't know if we have a lot of other Troika supplements. I'm excited to actually play some more Troika.
We should. I really did actually very much enjoy playing Troika.
Yeah, maybe if you wouldn't have blown the fucking nest right up after an hour, we could have played longer.
Sorry, you can't give me a powerful explosive. Honestly, after years of friendship, if you haven't figured out that I am the person you can't give a powerful explosive to,
well, now we know. Now we know. Okay, so I will pick the next one that we want to talk about.
Yes.
Let me kick back to which one do I want to go to? We'll go to this, and then I'll actually bring up a PDF. Let's talk about from one of the homies, one of our favorite people in the entire world.
We fucking love this guy.
Fucking love this person. Max Moon and the Wonderful Abyss of Hallucinations. This is volume 1. It's in pages. Of course, it's fine. It's still Subtle Sun. So this is Abyss of Hallucinations volume 1. What is this? This is what do I even want to say? It is Merkborg, right? We actually got to run the adventure from this. I always say it wrong. It's Hepta. Fuck, I'm gonna fuck it up, so I don't want to get it wrong. We got to run this adventure. Because I said it wrong so many times because it's not what you think it is. Unicursal heptagram. Unicursal heptagram. Yeah. So there's a heptagram, and we were going in and out of rooms and stuff. It's great. The adventure is fantastic. But what this is a Merkborg supplement, adventure, a little bit of everything. We know Max is a big fan of like Aleister Crowley and all of, and very occult stuff, and this is bringing that vibe into Merkborg, making it a little bit less dying world and a little bit more weird world.
Yeah.
But still,
and they're really great at that, like very odd, like esoteric, occultish, like vibe.
Yeah. Do you have your physical laying around anywhere?
I don't. Maybe somewhere, not in my immediate vicinity.
If I could find it in 2 seconds, I want to show it to you guys, but I can't. And I should have pulled it out before. But it is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. The printing on it, it's like a pink book that has this white printing over top of it. It's absolutely, absolutely stunning. And volume 2 is already funded, and recently I got to sign up in the backer kit to get that back. And not only that, the illustrations from Andy Weber throughout the entire thing are beautiful. If you haven't looked at any of Andy Weber's art, you really freaking should. Super excited for that. Some of the classes, like I loved when we played the Mountaineer, which was interesting, versus like the Seeker of the Left-Hand Path, like the Offspring of Pan. There's an image here that's got like a Offspring of Pan holding a severed head, laughing as they dance around with it, and a bloody knife. And then the gods you can worship, like Baphomet and things like that. So it's an entire kind of like mini setting adventure that really ties a lot of occult things into Merkborg. And when this printed, you could also get a copy of the Book of Lies from Aleister Crowley as a print as well. And
we lost Ryan, y'all. He died. He's gone. It's just me now.
I actually remembered where it was, and I do want to show it on stream because it's stunningly gorgeous. I actually have an entire Max Moon stack here, and here it is. Boom. I knew I would find it. So this is the Abyss of Hallucinations. Again, it's
look at that fucking
stunning,
book, dude.
It's absolutely stunning, right? And then you could also get the Book of Lies at the same time. Wow. Gorgeous book. You've got maps and all sorts of stuff with it too. And again, number 2 is on the way out. Bigger, even more art, all sorts of stuff. And again, Max is one of those creators / friends where literally anything they make, I will get it at the highest tier possible.
Absolutely. I mean, the stuff that they make is also just like, it's always so good. It looks good. It reads really well.
Fantastic. And then the way that they also do so many like small versions, like they'll be like we have a copy of 12 Years that only 2 exist in the entire world. I think it was the first hardbacks that they made for 12 Years. Now there's only a couple out there, but there's literally edition that in the front says the Weekly Scribble edition of 2.
The Weekly Scribble
edition. I have 1, you have 2. That's literally it, you know. And there's a lot of other small runs, like right here. I have the special edition that they did. There's only 7 of these exist in the world, and it's like a white gold version of that one.
That was, I mean, that's my bad, but man, look at that thing.
You really should have. It's fantastic. And I have so many other like little like versions of 12 Years too. Like I've shown you already the one of a kind, only one exists in the entire world. Like before the first Kickstarter ever came out, like test copy of 12 Years.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's the kind of stuff that Max does, and they put out these very niche versions of things, and they're absolutely stunning. And Abyss of Hallucinations is one of those just amazing things from Merkborg. I'm excited for number 2. I'm excited for number 3. I'm excited for number 4. We'll see what happens with that. But anything Max Moon, I mean, we could talk about just Max Moon supplements like Fairyland and all the rest of that stuff too, because it comes with Merkborg classes and Troika classes and stuff. But
I almost did bring up Fairyland actually, but it's not in my pile right now. So
but yeah, so that's Abyss of Hallucinations. It's a great supplement for Merkborg setting, adventure, and everything for it. From the wonderful, fantastic, amazing friend of the show, awesome human being, Max Moon. Check that out. All right, what do you got next, buddy?
Let's do Gig Economy.
Ooh. So I'm gonna be honest. I got the physical of this and have not really got to dig too far into the into it. Let me.
You don't have to. There's not a lot of deep digging to it. It's a very, very functional tool. This is by Colin Sproul. And it was a Kickstarter this past year. And it has been out for a bit. But so Gig Economy is a little like not quite pamphlet, but like little zine for OSE, Old School Essentials, and it really is a toolkit for hirelings and NPCs. Like a big thing about OSE that I try to push on my own table, that hirelings are such a foundational part of it, and kind of underutilized by modern gamers. This gives you like a little quick tool where you can, like, if they go to hire somebody, there are so many options that give you little personality notes, names, so you don't have to generate some NPC from nothing. You can go over to, the page where it has uncommon townsfolk, and you can pick Polly Woolman. That hat, what an incredible hat. Best hat you've ever seen, He's got clothing, fine, and the hat, a dagger, and a fancy walking stick. It's like it's a very usable supplement. Like, you could have this next to you at the table, and you could open it up and be like, I know instantly. You could instantly find what you are looking for. So it has hirelings broken up between classes. It has townfolk, lackeys. It's not that it's not very deep, because I guess it's really not. You don't have to dive too deep into it for it to be incredibly usable. But yeah, it is mostly geared towards more of like a fantasy-esque environment. But yeah, I just picked it up and looked through it, and I was like, wow, this works really well. It has some rules for like quick hiring and like generating hiring pools at the very back of the book. But yeah, I don't know. I struggle for NPC names on the fly sometimes. Especially if we're like doing hireling or coming across townsfolk. And it's nice to have something right here next to me that's like it tells you a name, very short little blurb about them, and then like 3 things that they have with them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like halfling, Toto the Forgetful, often late, usually distracted. Sorry, what was your name again? They have a clothing, shirt inside out, they're unarmed, and they have a library book, and it's overdue.
It's overdue, yeah.
It's overdue. I think when I was, if I remember correctly, do you have the physical in your hands?
I do.
So the size and shape of it, if I remember correctly from the Kickstarter, is designed to actually almost be like a bookmark. Like you can slide it into where you are in an adventure, and you just fold the book on it. Which is fucking cool. It's a really good idea to be. The functionality is what gets it. You know what I mean?
Totally. Oh, that's the thing is, it's like it's a great little tool, you know, and like especially with like the OSE box that's coming out, and OSE being this kind of like game that focuses on being very like functional, reference friendly, and like where you can hold the book in one hand and very easily reference stuff, and having another little additional tool that once again is very user friendly. And you're just like, fuck me, the townfolk. Yeah, it's Leon. Their name's just Leon, right? Yeah, they can be heard mothering. I used to be an actor, doing their horrible task they're doing, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. I like little stuff like this. Like it takes a lot of that extra thought out of like running a game, you know. Like I don't have to generate a list of 100 NPC names. Like it's very nice to have this. And it's more than just names. I think that the thing is I've had names generated before, and then like go and say the name, and I have nothing else because my mind's also working on the game. But I don't need anything else. Like this has a little blurb and it has the 3 things about them. Like
yeah, and that's literally all you need, because a lot of people, especially GMs, like if that's all I had, I could create like an entire human being, you know what I mean, or an entire person, you know. So it's really great because my players can tell you the number of Bobs they've run into. Like it's a running joke at this point.
Robert.
I'm like, they're fucking, no, it's just Bob. And then the next one they meet, if it's in the same campaign, it'll be like Joe, you know, and then like Bill, like that's all it is. But the next campaign, first one they meet, guess who they are? It's fucking Bob again, dude.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the fuckers never ask when I have a cool name planned.
No.
Right? Right? But when they don't, or when they actually do, it's some throwaway NPC that doesn't fucking matter. So this is we're talking currently about gig economy, and we're doing a supplement special talking about some of our favorite game supplements here on the Weekly Scroll. So and that's gig economy.
Yeah.
I
love the art on the cover, by the way. Like it's like and the back, it's just cute, you know. Like,
it's cute. It feels like a little bit less detailed Adventure Time is what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I like it. So
like this one here at the bottom gives me hard Marceline vibes.
I just like that. What's the it's AX Alaxolol, or what is that thing called at the bottom? The salamander-esque looking thing.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna fuck the name up, but yeah, it's a cutie. I like it. All right, so I'm gonna hop into this. Is more of a person than just all this than like a supplement for them, because there are. Let me just bring some up, and then I'll go on my rant about it. So this is Christian Eichhorn. Yeah. Someone I would love to talk to Christian at some point about
that's such a great piece
about all of the stuff that they do. Let's do fit with. Oh, it's because I got pages again. So we got Apocrypha. I got Galgenbeck Sacrifice. We got Cult of the Hadron Lamb. We got Purgatory. Bergen Crypt. This isn't all of them. This isn't even close to all of them. Did I already open Darknet Filth? I don't think I opened Darknet Filth. And that's a wonderful one. So, let's just put this into single page view. Page display, enable scrolling, view, zoom, fit, width. So this is, I don't want to start with this one. Let's go with like something like Apocrypha here. So Christian Eichhorn is a wonderful creator who I think was a lawyer prior to this, and switched over to doing something that, you know, wasn't awful, and started creating some amazing Merkborg supplements. And without getting too deep into it, I love Merkborg. Right. The problem I do. It's great. It's one of my favorite games of the year. It's one of my favorite games that we've ever done on the podcast. It's still one of the highest viewed games that we've ever talked about on the show. And I love the third-party license. My current kind of issue, and I think it's other people's issues too, is that Merkborg, a lot of it, there's a lot of stuff that's not good. I'm going to be straight up with you.
Oversaturation of the market is currently what
oversaturation. I feel like I've said this before. It's kind of become like the indie ttrpg's version of like drive-thru RPG, where everyone with any idea throws something out there. Whether that's good or bad is up to your interpretation, but sometimes it's hard to parse what's good and bad without having to pay for it first. And there's just a lot of stuff that's not necessarily bad, but it's just unnecessary or really doesn't add anything or has been done 50 times. There's just a lot. It is completely oversaturated. And one of the people that I know 100% of the time that I can rely on to put out just fire stuff is Christian Eichhorn. From the very first thing they put out, it looks fantastic. All of the content is really fucking good for it. So this first one I'm looking at is Purgatory. First of all the PDFs are hyperlinked. The other thing I really love about Christian Eichhorn stuff is it's clearly Merkborg.
Yeah.
But it's clearly their own thing too. Like there's a lot of parts where you're like, oh, this page, I see all the Merkborg, the yellow and stuff like that. Right. But then they use a lot of different vibes to Merkborg and stuff. And Johan Noor even talked about this before with Merkborg. A lot of their pages are super readable and everyone's just obsessed with like the 10 pages in it that are super graphically designed. And when they do third-party stuff, they do that on every fucking page without doing a lot of readable things. Christian doesn't do that shit. Like, look at this page. Like, it talks about some of the Psalms, super readable.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
using some of the more like not so out there graphic design parts of Merkborg, but really making it their own. Like when I see something like this, I can see like this is Christian Eichhorn stuff doing Merkborg. It's not just a copy of Merkborg with some cool stuff added to it. So they really add a lot of stuff. And if you really go through all the various different books and things, none of it feels, when you're really looking at it, that it's unnecessary. Like every time I've read through it, I'm just like, this is fucking cool. I really enjoy this. The art's fantastic. The layout is amazing. And it just gets better and better. But again, like just like Apocrypha, when you look at some of the things, there's a very distinct style that they have that is their own version of Merkborg, which is really fantastic. Again, super readable pages, but beautiful layout, and really it ties the style together. And like, look at this beautiful piece of art in here. Just super well done the way that they do the book. They really found the heart of Merkborg and made it their own, which is really fantastic. Look at things like Purgatory again. This now has a hardback version that's put out by Longtail Games, which he just talked about. Then we got Cyborg, right? So there's a couple of supplements coming out for Cyborg now, or that are already out. We go to single page view, enable scrolling, and then page zoom fit to width. So one of the ones I really loved is Cult of the Hydrogen Lamb. They did dig into like the AI art thing for this one. The cover itself is probably Mid-Journey, but I think more than anything, this is like a same thing with Darknet Filth. Almost more, not like, hey, I'm going to use Mid-Journey all the time. It's more of like, look how fucking dystopian technology is. Here is some technology stuff. Cult of the Hadron Lamb is more of like an adventure and setting. And then Darknet Filth is more of a supplement for different stuff to do and things like that, which is really fantastic. But when you go through, like I said, the layouts, especially when he dug more into the Cyborg version of this, you can tell it's still him. You can tell it's still a Borg, but that this one is clearly Cyborg versus some of the Merkborg stuff. So long story short, if you're looking for good Merc-Borg Cyborg supplements and you're finding it hard to dig through all of the stuff that's constantly dropping from Merc-Borg Cyborg, I can tell you straight up, Christian Eichhorn is always one to look at and check out. Always top tier stuff. And so that is Christian Eichhorn. What did you want to do next, buddy?
I think that we should just stay on the cyborg train, and we should do Too Fast to Live.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So our next one.
I wanted to talk about this one for a while because we've had this for a hot minute. And
we
just haven't
have.
had a chance.
Yeah. So Too Fast to Live, Too Young to Die by a friend of the show and great content creator, Astrolich.
The homie.
Is a supplement for Cyborg. That brings in rules for racing, car chases, and then different pop culture inspired vehicles. It is fairly, like, I was actually surprised it's fairly thick. You know, it's fairly sizable.
A thick boy. Yeah,
it is a thick boy. And I believe at the end there's even a little adventure for you to run through. But let me tell you, when it comes to style, this book looks fucking good. Like, it looks good. Like, the pages look really great, and the art assets pulled to make these like bikes and stuff. It just, I don't know. I'm really into this. I said when we were talking about this with him, with Astrolich, with Josh, running a Fast and the Furious game in Cyborg, and you could absolutely do that, or you could just add car chases in and have like rules already written out so you don't have to guess or figure it out. And yeah, I love that the pop culture references and like references to like old shows that are like sprinkled throughout this entire project. I think this is really, really good. Yeah.
and like you said, the pop culture, the driver, and this is clearly, I mean, there's a scorpion on the back, so you know if you know, which is really, really fantastic. And the layout that Josh does is so good. Like, and as far as I know, he lays the whole thing out in like GIMP or something like that. Like, he's not even in like,
oh yeah,
like what was I trying to say? What's the Adobe one?
Illustrator.
Yeah, something like that. Well, not Illustrator, the other one. What the fuck is that called?
The page layout one.
InDesign. Yeah. InDesign. But like you said, it's just fucking beautiful.
Look at that page. Like, seriously, this page that we just scroll past.
Yeah.
Like,
oh wait, that's his by Ryan. Oh wait, that's his by Ryan right there.
Hey, that's by Ryan.
Hey, that's me. So we actually got to. There was a tier where you could submit vehicles.
Yeah.
And I wanted to submit something from Wacky Races, but felt that would be mean and not fit the Cyborg thing. If you're old enough to know what Wacky Races is, there you go. So I asked for my favorite car, the 1965 427 Cobra, and boom, it is it. It both exists and doesn't exist.
I a little bit regret my choice, and I wish I chose a different one because not that I regret it, actually, my choice is still very good. I put in the car from Knight Rider.
Oh, that's fucking cool as shit.
It was a great one, but I really wish I had done Vin Diesel's car from Fast and the Furious.
Oh, yeah, because then you could the family.
Yeah, the family. The family. But yeah, there's motorcycles, there's tanks, there's helicopters. There's a lot in here, and it's kind of just honestly, if you never use this in your game and you just got it and you just went through it, like, it's really genuinely very enjoyable to just go through it. There you go. Pursuit Special. By the father of cats.
But if you look at, like, I mean, you could use this guy right here, the one put in by Brendan Carlson. You could totally use that one as the maximum black.
Like, the fact that it just gives me a little bit more context for how like cars are written in this, like in Josh's vision. Like, I could do whatever, you know.
This actually deserves a 2-page view here. And then let me do the enable scrolling on it. Oh no, you can't enable scrolling on a 2-page view. You suck. Wait, 2-page scrolling? Yes, we're doing great. Boom. There we go. So when you actually look at like the spreads, it's missing one, but like it should be like rides. Yeah. Like you said, it's really great. The one thing that I thought was a fantastic page is this page right here. I'm gonna go down to just the 1-page view again real quick.
Look at that friggin' Akira reference page.
The Johan Noor Akira reference.
Oh,
so good.
God, that's a good one.
It's such a good one. And the other thing that he said, because we were chatting prior to this coming out, that he wanted to make people do, and yes, there is an adventure in the back, is that while you were reading it, he wanted to make you turn it like a steering wheel.
Yeah,
so like,
what you do, it goes like, yeah,
what you
absolutely.
do. There are pages, so like when you're looking at it, you have to turn it this way to read it, and then you have to turn it back, and then you have to turn it like this. And you have to do like as you're flipping through the thing, you have to be like, oh, okay, well now I have to turn it up this way, and you're literally like driving like fucking steering while reading the book. Like that's such a fucking awesome troll thing to put in there. So just be like, oh yeah, so good. And then there was an add-on, the Rules of Nature add-on too, which is really cool. This is like various upgrades and things like that. Design a man-made predator on the verge of death, drawing you closer to your last breath. It's an owner's manual for the latest and greatest K9K series of electrical pets. There we go. So, yep. Good shit. Aster Lich is one of the homies, and this was a really, really awesome project.
Yeah, this was a really good one, too. So
it's so good. Yeah. And there was more, too, because this QPR code, if you get it, scan that shit. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you get it, or scan our screen, I guess, at this point, if you get close enough to it. It's cool that like there's actual digital content within the digital content. Just hyperlinks next time, homie. But yeah, that's Too Fast to Live. What's the next one? What did we want to talk about? You wanted to do that one. Oh, let's talk about something else from another one of the homies. This is Broken Luck.
Nice.
From Eco and PR, Perplexing Ruins again, with that gorgeous art. It's so good.
Art. Yes.
It's so good. I actually wanted to download quick. There is another piece. I have like the full page spread of the download that real quick. The Faceless God piece.
My favorite. Oh, by far my favorite piece.
This
God,
I honestly good. I think this is when I think this is what made me discover PR.
Yeah, I think so.
This specific piece of art in this zine, and Eco too, like both of those guys who are now friends of the show, been on the show, great people. Yeah. But this piece specifically, this Faceless God piece of art, is amazing. And if there was a tier where you could get, I mean, it was LFOSR, wasn't it? Yeah. Where you could get like a bundle that had like this as a card in it. There was a separate thing for the Life Egg in it. There was a bunch of stuff. But Broken Luck is another Troika supplement. Again, art by PR and text and layout by Eco. And yeah. Oh, Leo. So anyway, this is just a wonderful, oh God. And the Kid God as you go through this too. Like, again, this is exactly what I want more from Troika, is not just like, just backgrounds. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I need a little bit more structure.
Yes, and there's definitely more than just backgrounds in this, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely more than just that. And it's got a lot of cool, just stuff, but the art the entire way through was what really gets me. Like, PR really gave the vibe for this really, really well. And there is a soundtrack from Spooky Rusty, which is really, really cool. And you know how we love them digital tools, right? It's in the PDF. It's hyperlinked into the PDF, so you can click on it and go listen to the soundtrack on Bandcamp. I mean, come on. Come on. So
love to see it.
Love to see it. This is a beautiful, beautiful Troika supplement. Beautiful art, great writing from Eco. I suggest following both of those guys and anything that they put out. Another great, huge shot of the Faceless God. And this is the kind of art you'll see on one of the things we spotlighted. That is the A Brazen Crown from Rickborg.
Absolutely.
So if you love this art as much as we do, which you should check that out. But that is another Troika supplement. Not quite as niche as Phrazongelion, but cool nonetheless. What did you have next, buddy?
Like, you know what? Let's do some spicy tuna.
Oh, hit him with that. Hit him with that. Boom. This guy right here.
Yeah, let me pull. I have a pile of supplements on my desk. Where's cool? Yeah, Familiar Faces, which came out with Knights of Lazarus, which was a Kickstarter project by Spicy Tuna a few months ago that has been released. Familiar Faces is a 2-part book. I have both of them in my hand. It is essentially, it's a guide for this sandboxy area of space. What you'll find in this area, various like spacecrafts and satellites, and then the people that you'll meet. And it goes in great detail about these people and their relationships. And what's really cool is that it comes with a journal that's blank that has all of these NPCs or space for all these NPCs. And you can keep track of like where in your, like in relation to your player characters, these people are and how their interactions have been and like how that's shaped things. And I thought that was a really cool tool. This is for Mothership, I should say. It's for Mothership 1E. And this is our first Mothership one that we're doing on this special. So shout out. We're crawling across the whole spectrum of games.
Well, I also feel, once 1E actually drops, I feel like we're going to be talking about that shit a lot.
I have so much 1E stuff.
Dude, it's so good.
So
it's crazy how much 1E stuff we have before we actually have 1E.
I know. We have the PDF for Hull Breach somewhere, and the 1E hasn't come out yet. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm planning to take my party, my Bastards group, through some 1E when it comes out as well. But yeah, I really like this. I like the art style of it a lot. It has this like somewhat like realistic, very stylized art, and then a lot of good just info. It's definitely not as quick and pick up as Gig Economy. You kind of have to go through this beforehand and have a good idea. There's
definitely more prep stuff. Yeah.
This is a good prep book, and having the journal with it to like keep track of like how these NPCs interact, because you are in like a space station or two, like you are limited, like these interactions are with a consistent group of people, Yeah, I just thought it was well done. It was a good addition to Knights of Lazarus.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I also think though that Mothership lends itself a lot more to prep than like OSC does. Like obviously you have to prep a little, but OSC, like you can have a lot more improv and things go in different directions. So oftentimes Mothership kind of has to have a much more linear feel to it, because there is like panic and there is like a thing that was probably trying to kill you and things like that. I think it lends itself a lot more to maybe even like long adventures, but not necessarily huge campaigns. So to have something that allows you to prep a lot more and to have those NPCs built in with, like you said, a lot more background and a lot more depth to them, I think is super necessary. This also came with like all the cards and stuff. Did you get like the character cards and all that stuff?
I do have them somewhere. Oh, I don't know where they are.
Yeah, there was a shitload of stuff with that. Yeah, Spicy Tuna.
Yeah, it was like a very, and we're not even talking about the main part of this project, frankly, which we can touch on it, is Knights of Lazarus, which is its own like adventure and essentially like deep dungeon crawl. That's very thematic and very like cool and like odd, and fits really well within Mothership's ability to just do odd stuff.
Well, one of the things that really drew me to that one is the kind of more, because Mothership's awesome, and if technology is going to be in a game, I want it to be like fucking all the way to space. I don't want like guns and shit. But I love that has a very kind of like medievally dungeon feel to it. Like even just the art on the front with like armor and stuff. So you can get a mix of both. I kind of like the idea of like future knights.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're fighting, Space Knights,
Which is badass. And it's more of a dungeon feel than a lot of Mothership adventures, which kind of, I don't know. Like, everything can kind of feel like a dungeon, but that one specifically is like a dungeon.
At a certain point, everything is towns or dungeons,
Yeah, life is a dungeon.
Life is just one continuous dungeon.
Yeah, that is it. And not only that,
there we go.
Is there? Do we have? Is there something that you want to use this little section as an announcement?
I don't know. Are we? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe this week we might be talking to Spicy.
I have to double check that's this week. I have to double check. Yeah.
It's Saturday the 19th.
Yep.
We're having Spicy Tuna on to talk about Knights of Lazarus and any other potential upcoming projects, which I'm really stoked about. We've been like very active talking to them on Twitter since they announced this project, because I was really stoked on it. I immediately tweeted it. I was like, I'm getting this immediately. Yeah.
And it's gonna be interesting. We're having a couple we've almost exclusive, because this is a ttrpg review podcast. We really don't do a lot of supplements. We don't do really any adventures. We review games. That's what the podcast is. Every now and then we want to do something a little bit different, which is one of the reasons we're doing like the supplement special. Right. I don't know what we're doing next week after Spicy Tuna, but today we talked to a couple of shop owners and the wonderful people at Knave of Cups. And Spicy Tuna, all the stuff that they put out are adventures and supplements, not games too. So a couple weeks here where we're doing something a little bit different, not necessarily talking to game designers who put out a game, but people that own a shop or put out these amazing, beautifully done supplements that have more things that they're coming out with too. So it'll be interesting. And then at some point we got to talk about what we're doing next week after that. But anyway,
that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's problem, baby.
Yeah,
the future's not real.
Excited for Spicy Tuna. That'll be fun. Is that Familiar Faces?
Familiar Faces.
Yeah. Okay, let me delete that one. We only got a couple left here. I want to talk about one that we touched on the show before, but that is really neat. This is called The Profane WYRD. This is an ashcan version, even though the cover looks mostly done and it's amazing.
It's an ashcan, even though the cover looks fantastic.
Yeah, but the rest of it's all black and white. But this is from Gabe Rivera at Copper State Games. Yeah, edited by one of the homies, Tom Owen. Dice Maven's been on the show a couple of times. Actually was with me talking about WYRD from Disaster Tourism. Also one of the homies now who was on the show as well. Talking about all of the stuff that they've done. All these people are fantastic people. Always highly suggest following all of them, especially Disaster Tourism as they drop more and more stuff like The House is Haunted and some other projects that are coming out. And there will be a new kind of expansion for WYRD here. But this is the Profane WYRD. If you've looked at WYRD, it is literally just... It's like 4 pages. It's very small. It's more of a less of a full game and more of a framework to build a game on, kind of. That's how Disaster Tourism talked about it. And this is a supplement that does that adds on to the game, that is much longer. I mean, it's like 45 pages to WYRD, using that structure to build on. So there's optional rules, which are different ways to do skill checks. There's random encounters, or a different way to do random encounters, which is kind of more of like the vanilla game vibe, like roll a d6 and at 1 shit happens, at 6 interesting stuff, with a variance in between. There are new items, and then there are a ton of adventure seeds, which I really, really love. This it's like 2 paragraphs, list of wandering monsters, and that's exactly how I want my adventures to be. Give me a seed, give me the monsters that might be in that place, give me a couple of locations, and let the players tell the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. And that is what a lot of the rest of the book is some really, really cool adventure seeds, like torturing ataxophobia. And there's a notoriety level too as you go through. So there's any notoriety, whatever. List of wandering monsters like a clockwork hound, a grand automaton boss encounter, cool. the culling of Nephilim, right? And you're gonna get things like an imp, a crypt warden, a rotling. I mean, it's just a really, really the Abraxas house. I just really love the way that this is put together. It's a really great, it's a couple of extra things you can do with the game, and then a lot of seeds that you can use to create games, because WYRD doesn't really have there is no setting. There's not even really, I mean, aside from the fact that there's like fighters and swords and stuff, there's no really implied setting except probably mostly medieval, except you can get WYRD, which is the cyberpunk version, where it converts everything from a medieval setting to more of a cyberpunk setting where there's actually not magic but hacking. So this is the Profane WYRD. Really cool. It is the ashcan version. It's got a great cover and then it's black and white. I'm excited to see what the finished version of this is. Again, this is really cool from Copper State. Tom Owen is a great editor, and again, all based on stuff from Disaster Tourism. Really excited where this is going to go. And I know that there's a ton of other word supplements that are coming out soon. So you'll see more of that stuff hitting the streets. So that is Profane Word. And I think we just have like 1 or 2 left. Do you want to hit one from Adam Bass? One of the.
Oh yeah. Hey, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
Let's do some chain face, brother.
Chain face. Yeah.
So,
all right.
Chain Face by World Champ Games, aka Adam Bass, is a supplement for. Okay, so I think it's for. I'm blanking really quick. There's several games. It really is just a character you can pretty much add into any game, but there are rules for Merkborg, Nova by Spencer Campbell, and Necronovelist. Chain Face is essentially a multi-dimensional being that travels through different dimensions, essentially devouring powers from people and containing those things within himself. Chain Face's knowledge is so vast and there's so much energy contained in him that he would split apart, except he's held together by a chain, by a length of chain that is wrapped around his head. It is from the incredibly warped mind of Adam Bass, and it's a really cool, like weird, horrifying, like semi-boss guy that just like can travel through any dimension and is just this horrifying thing you really don't want to come across and can't really defeat. It definitely has that very World Champ game feel. It's definitely like a World Champ game product. But yeah, this came out a while ago, and it I don't know. I'm a big fan of like bringing characters in, no matter what, like the same character in, no matter what my tabletop group is playing, and having them like travel across. Like I used to play with a guy who had a shop owner named Mug Grub, who was in every game. It didn't matter where you were, like you would come across him. Awesome. And like I feel like this is an interesting one. It's like, you know, the first time your party comes across Chain Face in the game, they're going to be like, what is this guy? And try to fight him, and then like probably fail or try to run away. But then like when you're playing, you know, a Mothership with the same group that you're playing Bastards in, and a hole in space opens up and a man steps through wrapped in chains, they're going to be like, oh shit, we need to leave, you know? And so I feel like there's a, you know, I used to be really, really big on the whole like meta knowledge thing. Like, and I just don't care anymore. Now I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. Go off. Like, yeah, you recognize the guy, run. I just see like a lot of potential for fun in this, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's such a different style of supplement, right? Like it's not an adventure. It's kind of a hook, but just the fact that it's just a character that you can use in so many games is such a cool fucking idea. Like I wish there were more of these. And when I first got it, like, I'm like, this is so neat. And again, for all the reasons that you just said, the fact that if you use this as a recurring character, and I love that there are options to have it as an enemy or an ally even. And I like the idea of a party running into them both ways based on like what they're doing or they're trying to accomplish. So it's a great supplement. And again, like you said, I mean, this is Adam at their best, and Adam is one of the
this is a solid Adam Bass like piece.
And it's just it's I mean, Adam Bass is easily, you know, one of our favorite creators out there, and this kind of shit's the reason why. Like, you know, and the layout is gorgeous, you know. And you could easily, I know it said it's listed for, it has stats for Necronovelist, Merkborg, Nova, and Torque, which is a great game from Will Yopes that we should talk about at some point.
Yeah.
But I mean, this screams cyber metal too. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like coming out of like the pit in hell, even it could come up and do that. Fucking awesome. Yeah. And then I think the last one we're going to talk about today, because I think we're both getting crashing. This is a really interesting one that I'll just go over briefly about another game that I really want to talk about sooner than later. This is the field guide to Fever Swamp. So this is kind of a mashup, right? This is it's a conversion for liminal horror. We really need to go over liminal horror soon.
We do really need. I was just looking at it. So yeah, I agree.
Goblin Archives and Josh Demansky. Really, really great stuff here. And do you know Fever Swamp? Do you know the old Fever Swamp?
I don't.
So this is like a do with Fever Swamp. So Fever Swamp is actually an adventure that was originally put out from a Smithsonian Arts Council, which is which Troika. Yeah. Written by Luke Gearing. It is a very weird, interesting adventure. Back when they were doing, I mean, they still do the Undercroft, but there was a point in time where the Undercroft had a lot more leanings towards a game we're never really going to cover on stream, Lamentations. Yeah. So, but
yes,
like
we will never cover that on stream.
But I want to say the good parts of Lamentations without the weird sexual violence and stuff like that, you know, because there were a lot of really good writers. Like actually, as far as I know, and maybe I'm completely mistaken, Metagorgos, which is a Troika adventure that recently came out, was originally written for Lamentations, because Lamentations was just like a weird, cool at the time variation of like the early basic like D&D, which a lot of people really enjoyed. So then you know, they started talking about, we're not going to get into it. Fuck those guys. But some of the stuff, some of the
those guys. That's how far into it we'll get. Fuck those guys. So
yeah. So Fever Swamp though was put out originally early on for that from Luke Gearing. It's a really cool, dark, interesting adventure. And Liminal Horror is awesome. And this is a conversion to get Fever Swamp to Liminal Horror.
Cool.
Which is a cool supplement. Because it does take a little bit more than just like reskinning some stuff to write that. Right. Yeah. So it talks here, like I just said, about the origins. The journey to Fever Swamp began with the Undercroft from Smithsonian Arts Council, best known for Troika. And then it talks about the Fever Swamp coming out, talks about Luke Gearing as they were becoming more and more well known. Luke Gearing is an amazing writer. Check out like Wolves Upon the Coast. I hope I didn't say that completely wrong. And especially the Isle that they just put out, which is a fantastic adventure. Yeah, Wolves Upon the Coast. So, my shit disappeared. Yeah, and this goes piece by piece on how to convert Fever Swamp to Liminal Horror. It talks about the scene, talks about setting the scene in a more modern setting, talks about converting the mechanics, talks about variations going across the map. It talks about different ways to use the locations and things like that. Luke Gearing also wrote Gradient Descent, which is really fantastic. It does talk about some ways to convert the character creation into Liminal Horror, and it talks about some of the backgrounds and stuff that you could find and various Fallout tables, and a new bestiary where it does convert a lot of the creatures and stuff from Fever Swamp to Liminal Horror. So just like the last one, which is like kind of a different kind of supplement with Chain Face, I thought this was a really cool, interesting, different kind of supplement where you can take what in the indie scene, and especially people that are fans of the Undercroft and Smithsonian, Fever Swamp is a great adventure. And this is the really cool conversion, which is a great supplement version for that. So Liminal Horror, Fever Swamp, Luke Gearing, Josh Demansky, really, really cool supplement. Excited to get into Liminal Horror. We should definitely do that sooner than later.
We definitely should. I'll go through this too. This looks really cool.
It does look really cool.
I like. It's interesting. You were doing a supplement episode, which we don't often do or ever have done previously now. But like, you know, there's this overarching conversation in the tabletop RPG space about like, there are enough games. You know, like we've had like in the past like 5 years, we've had so many games created that like we've had a lot of creators say like they're kind of like reinvesting into creating more like supplements and stuff for their current games. And so I'm really interested to see, because like, you know, I like little tools like Gig Economy. I think it's a great little thing like just have on hand. And just have these little supplemental tools that you can use to either prep or you have on hand for when you play, to take kind of some of that mental load off of like running a game and like having to listen to 4 other people talk and like make ideas while you formulate what's going on. I'm really interested to see like what other weird stuff comes out, like more Chain Face type stuff, or more like, yeah, it's a conversion from a system that we like, from a thing that we don't talk about, you know, like, but this is like the good part of it. Like, here's a good thing from it, you know? Like, I'm interested to see what else we get in the next couple of years. Cause
I mean, like you just said, there's the next bundle for something is going to have 500 fucking games in it. Right. And realistically, there's going to be like 10 that people are going to read, or be like, there's going to be someone that puts an article that says, these are the best parts of the bundle. Check these out, right? Everyone's putting stuff out all the time. But, you know, one of the problems that, like you just said, is being looked at right now is people will put out a great game and then feel this need to put out another great game.
Yeah.
But
I haven't even played that first great game yet, man.
But not only that, the people that do want to play those great games, like, I don't want to have to write every single adventure. Like, I'll probably tweak whatever. I'll probably tweak whatever someone else puts out, but it's great to have more content. So these people that are some of our favorite creators that we've talked to a lot or talked about, Adam talked to him about, like Diego Noguera with Primal Quest, talking about like Spencer Campbell putting out more stuff for Light, more stuff for Nova.
Right.
The more support, like the more you're going to feed back into your game, the more community you're going to build for it, and the more people can play your game. Like, I can't wait for the expansions to Necronautilus. I can't wait for I actually just got in the mail one of the expansions for Babes in the Wood. Like, if it's a game I love and I want to play more of, give me more of that. I don't always want to just get new game after new game after new game, play it once and stick it on the shelf if I play it at all. So you're completely right. This is exactly this. I feel like this will not be the last supplement special. We should probably do one every couple of months, especially as some of our favorite games get more stuff.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. And I think that's about it for us. I think that's all we're going to do for this first supplement special. First, I say, because there probably will be a second one. Maybe we'll even do an adventure one at some point, but we are very about the fucking game.
I'm weird about reading people's adventures. Like, first off, I like sometimes I don't like to know because I don't know how who's going to run it for me or if I'm running it. And also, like, you know, you should just buy it.
Buy the thing. Yeah.
You should just buy that.
But I do feel like we are like, I mean, I don't even think we've talked about it really on the podcast yet. You know, we've been doing this for over a year. Yes, I do actually. Yeah. We've been doing this shit for over a year. Didn't even realize it. Blew past. We haven't had no anniversary episodes. We didn't do a 25 anniversary. We didn't do a 50. We're past 50 episodes. We didn't hit our 1 year. So we are going to have some different kind of episodes coming down the pipe. We did kind of maybe mention possibly doing some type of like, not award show, but something to commemorate like the end of the year. Like, we hit a year, it's towards the end of the year. Let's talk about like the highest rated games or something like that. So we'll see what happens with that. It's funny, someone in the chat just said, we would love to see a regular Kickstarter review. We actually did that for like 45 episodes. The beginning of every episode, we would do like 45 minutes of Kickstarter. One of the reasons we switched more to this spotlight kind of format where we just talk about maybe one or two projects. They might be on Kickstarter, they might be on someone's website, they might be somewhere else, or maybe even like a piece of news or something, is because we're trying to save money. B, we would be doing that stuff for like 45 minutes and then we would back every single fucking one of them. And C, there really is less kind of stuff going on Kickstarter right now.
It weirdly is like kind of a down period. Like, I think that was maybe one of the bigger contributors is like, you know, there just hasn't been a lot of like massive.
Well, I mean, but February we're going to have both Zemo and Zine Quest. So I'm already saving up money for that. Already saving up money for that. So we definitely will have some episodes where we go over some of the Zemo Zine Quest projects. Probably do a little bit different than last time. But
and so we'll still spotlight like really good ones when they come out. Like,
but just less of them. I don't want to do 45 minutes every week. You know, like maybe 10. You know,
maybe. Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway,
so hey, I'll pitch you a concept. 2 guys with ADHD start a podcast.
Right? Yep. And it'll change constantly. But for those listening, thank you for being in chat. Thank you for hanging out. Check us out on all of our socials while they still exist. Instagram, I promise when Twitter dies, I'll get back to upgrading that. We're the.weekly.scroll. On Twitter, again, while it still exists, we're weekly_scroll. At some point, I will, if they get up and running, I will add our Tumblr and or Mastodon links to shit. We're probably the weakest scroll on everything, but our YouTube, because we are under the umbrella, because this is a project within our greater thing, is the Adventure Archive. Do us a huge favor. Please go sub to that. It's been growing. It's been fantastic. It's a great way to watch our stuff. It's a great way to watch all our VODs, the actual plays that we do on the other side of the Adventure Archive, where we've done Merkborg, Death in Space, Frontier Scum, a lot of great stuff. We're going to have Cyborg, which is dropping soon. Maybe we'll get Hunter into a Cyborg campaign on the channel. So go check those things out. And that's it. That's our socials. I got to go to work. I'm sure you're going to go take a nap. So, Hunter, beautiful as always. We'll figure out what's going to happen next week with Spicy Tuna.
Oh, what about Tuesday? Talk about Tuesday?
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Hey, so Creator Cuts is a thing that we've done one episode of. We had Micah on to run Hex Drive, which is Troika. So then we decided to say, hey, if we can get writers of adventures or creators of games to come on and do that, let's do that. And then we did. So we had Micah Anderson coming on running Hex Drive, and now we're going to have John Davis, Civid Sanctum.
Civid Sanctum himself, you know?
We're going to be on Tuesday running, he's going to run Helm for us, using an adventure from 17th Century Minimalist, which also check out 17th Century Minimalist because it's fucking cool as shit. I'm very sad I missed that from Games Omnivorous. But yeah, John Davis running Helm for us on Tuesday. It's going to be cool. It's going to be the same batch of guys from last time. It's going to be me, Hunter, and Andy.
Nice.
And it's going to be great. So really, really excited for that. We'll announce that again towards the weekend. I get the next couple of days off. So I'll actually start to try to catch up on stuff, which I probably won't. And that's it. That's our episode. Those are our announcements. That's what's coming this week. And then we'll talk about what's coming up for the rest of the month after that. So you guys all have a wonderful night. Hunter, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.